In the ecclesiastical archives of Eastern Europe, there are references to a document that can no longer be consulted. It was not burned, it was not declared false, it was not sealed in a secret collection. It is simply no longer there. The document referred to an incident that took place in a remote monastery at the end of the 19th century. About that incident, no complete official account survives. Only traces. In the late 1800s, in a mountainous region of Eastern Europe, there stood a small, isolated monastery. It was not a pilgrimage site. It was not known for miracles. It did not appear in the writings of the time. Its purpose was simple: prayer, silence, isolation. A handful of monks, one presiding priest, a small village several kilometers away. For the local community, the monastery was a constant, a place that did not change. Until one winter. The priest of the monastery was known as a balanced man, not fanatical, not eccentric. He had a reputation for discipline and restraint. Services followed a strict order. Rules were observed. There are no records of conflict, no complaints, no prior warnings. He was exactly the kind of man who never appeared in reports. And yet, his name is mentioned in a document that can no longer be read. The earliest references do not describe a clear event. There is no precise moment recorded, only vague formulations. Inappropriate conduct, deviations from established order, the need for evaluation. There is no mention of violence, no mention of heresy, no mention of possession, only of a change. The monks left no personal testimonies, no diaries, no letters. In the registers, only consequences appear. Temporary suspension of services, restricted access, an order of complete isolation, without any explanation. There are clear indications that a report was written, an official document sent to higher authority. It was not rumor. It was not oral tradition. It was an administrative act. In the years that followed, references appear to be the aforementioned document, the monastery case, the incident already reviewed, but the content is missing. The pages where it should be are not torn. They are not burned. The numbering simply skips. Shortly after, the monastery was reorganized. Some monks were transferred. Others disappeared from the records. The priest never appears again in any official role. Not reassigned, not sanctioned, simply absent. For the institution, the matter seems closed. For the archives, incomplete. For the village, something else begins. The villagers did not speak of documents, nor of reports. They spoke of nights without services, of bells that no longer rang, of prayers that stopped mid-verse. They said the monastery went quiet before anyone was officially told to stay away. Lights were seen at hours when no vigil was scheduled. Candles burned in windows that were usually dark, and on certain nights, no sound came from inside at all. Not chanting, not footsteps, not even the wind. The older villagers spoke more carefully. They said the monks had begun to avoid one another, that meals were taken separately, that doors were kept closed longer than necessary. And then there were the rules. Some rules were never written, but everyone seemed to know them. Do not approach the monastery after sunset. Do not answer if you hear your name called from the hill. Do not bring children near the walls during winter. When asked why, the answer was always the same. That is not our place anymore. They also spoke of something older than the monastery, a practice that existed before stone walls and icons. Not a prayer, not a blessing. Something used only when order could not be restored, when silence itself had become unstable. They never named it directly. They never described its steps. Only that it required witnesses, and that once performed, certain things could not be undone. After that winter, one particular day vanished from the village calendar. No weddings, no funerals, no visits to the church. People stayed indoors. Animals were kept close. Candles remained unlit. When asked later why this was done, no one spoke of fear. They spoke of respect. The kind of respect that only fear can impose. The document was never recovered. The monastery still stands today, but it is no longer permanently inhabited. And in the village, there is one day each year when no candles are lit. Not by order, not by declared fear, but because that is how it is done.